Welcome back to the Writer's Workshop. In our last episode, we went over adding any special details such as notes, text messages, and images into our paperback format. Now, we're going to dive back in and get started on adding in both headers and footers. So, let's get started. Now that we are back in our paperback format, we're going to go through adding both headers and footers in our manuscript. So you can easily just double tap in either the top or bottom part of your document and it'll come up with your headers and footers, or you can go over to your insert and access your footer, header, and page numbers there as well. I usually just do the double tap. It's easier for me, and it's how I like to work with it. But first off, we're going to start by putting breaks into all of our areas where we don't want to have any headers or footers. So for like our title page, I definitely do not want any headers or footers on that page. Come to your last line on that page, go up to Layout, Breaks, and Next Page. Now this will drop things down one line, so always make sure that you clean up that line that gets bumped over. And we're just going to go ahead and do this on the next few pages. Breaks, next page, be sure to clean up the previous one, and another break here. And in doing this, I don't want a header or footer on any of my beginning pages here, nor do I want one showing up on my title page or my first chapter page. And I'm going to show you how to do that. Come back up here and I'm going to double click, and I'm going to make sure that as I go to the second page, that linked to previous is off on both my header and footer. I'm going to do this for all these ones that I do not want anything showing up. That will cause the break to be individual. You'll see here we have section 1, section 2, section 3. That's our breaks. So starting with this one, section 5 on our first chapter page, I do want to turn the link to previous off on that one. I do want to leave it on this one, as it will then match the first one. So for here, I like to keep our author name on the even pages and our book title on the odd pages. However, you can do this however you want. I suggest if you have a first person multi-POV to maybe put your character and the chapter title there, or the chapter, or if you don't have names for your chapters, you could do the book title as well as the character that you're reading the POV in. Because let's face it, life sucks when it gets in the way, and we really don't want to have to be pulled away from our books, but sometimes we got to. Alright, clicking on the footer, I'm going to come up here and do page number, and do inside. Actually, I want mine in the center, and we're going to start at number 1. You see number 1 shows up here. So come over here, link to previous, page number, center, and you should be able to hit OK, and that's going to go ahead and do number 2. Beautiful. So my odd page would have my book title here, my even page, the author. So I'm going to go ahead and type in Alice Brown. And for here, do Up in Flames. Here we go. Now, I do want to italicize, so I'm going to come over to home there, and we're going to go ahead and do the same with our headers and footers, just to dress it up a little bit. Make it a little bit bigger. People can read it. Here we go. Update that one. Alright, now for the number on the first page here of the chapter, I do not want, actually, I'm going to remove that, but because we have this one not linked to the rest of the chapter, you can see where we keep our odd pages continuing. There we go. Now I got it matching. Alright, so from here, our first page of our first chapter, or prologue as it is, does not have a header or footer. Our second one does. Scroll on down here to the end of that prologue or chapter, the final page, or final line of that page, and you're going to go to your layout, break, next page. Clean up that extra one. Now, in order to get everything to continue flowing, keep your headers and footers flowing into the next section, because your break creates a new section. We're going to click on it. It is linked to previous. And so we put our break in. And I want this to not be linked, that first chapter to not be linked to the rest of the document. But the numbers I do. So for my number, I want to edit it to get it to continue flowing. And we're going to pick up at number 5. Okay, so 2, 3, 4. That one should be 5, 6, 7, 8. See how that keeps flowing? I'll walk you through it one more time with the next one. All right, so go to the end of chapter 1, the last line on that page. Layout, breaks, next page, clean up that extra space, and we're going to take note that that was page 11. Activate our headers and footers, turn off the link to previous on the page of your header and footer, or your chapter. Come over to your number, again 11, so this would be 12. We're going to edit our page number to 12. And you'll see that it picks up right there, 12, 13, 14. All right, so I'm going to go through the rest of the manuscript and go ahead and do my breaks, and I will be right back. Two things I want to point out here real quick is you will see as you make your breaks and adjust the page number that it will automatically adjust to whatever you had on your even pages. It will follow suit, and whatever you had on your odd page headers, it will also follow suit as you make those changes to the page numbers. Also, it is much easier, I have found, and less complicated and confusing to go through and make the adjustments as you go, rather than just go through and make all your breaks in one go and then go through and do everything. I just find it a lot smoother of a process to go through and do this one chapter at a time. As you can see here, everything is lined up this way. I'm going to make a change to my pages. And it still follows suit with your odd and even numbers. Now, as we make our final cut here, I will also go through and show you how to keep your headers and footers from continuing into your ending pages or your back matter, because that is something I do not like. I don't like my headers and footers continuing on that. It's going to be a very similar process to how we did the front matter without having any headers or footers showing up on that. So, page 20, 291. As we come to the end here, we just did our last chapter break. I'm going to come over to the last line of that epilogue, make my break, obviously clean up the space, and then the end of each one here, I'm also going to add a break. Right, and you can see we no longer have header and footer on these. And you can go ahead and unlink it to previous because it's not linked to anything. And there you have your headers and footers on your manuscript. And a good way to see how this looks is go ahead and hit save and then go up and export or save as. And you want to come down to a PDF document. I'm just going to put this on my desktop so we can see what it will look like. Take just a minute. There we go. And here you can see the actual print layout as if it was in a paperback. On down. There's our first page. Page 2 starts with a beautiful header and footer. Gorgeous. Look at that. All right, and that is going to do it for today's episode of adding in headers and footers. You did a fabulous job, and don't worry, when it goes to print, you will have it as a more muted out color where it's not taking away from the actual body of your text and contents. So, congratulations. Join us back for next week's episode, the final installment of taking your paperback, exporting it, and uploading it to Amazon to publish. And as always, don't stop learning and never stop dreaming.